Distinguished guests, parents, students, friends and family, the graduation ceremony will begin in a moment. We ask you to switch off your phones or put them on silent. We are now inviting the class of 2021 to proceed into the auditorium and onto the stage. We now ask the students and the audience to stand for the national anthem of Saudi Arabia. As principal of the KAUS Secondary School, I am delighted to welcome distinguished guests, parents and family members to the KAUS School's 12th annual commencement ceremony. This year is a special ceremony as we are back in the auditorium. Last year the graduation was virtual because of COVID-19, but as we are gradually managing the effects of the global pandemic, we are now able to celebrate this special event with a limited audience inside the auditorium. The families of the graduates are seated in the main section of the auditorium, while the teachers are seated at the mezzanine level upstairs. And I would like the students and the families to acknowledge the teachers, look up the mezzanine and give a wave to the teachers. One of the grade 12 students, Reem Al-Yami, cannot be with us today because she's in quarantine. This event is also streamed to allow family and friends on campus, in Saudi Arabia and around the world to witness this event in real time. To begin, I would like to welcome Professor Brian Moran, Chairman of the TKS Board, Professor of Mechanical Engineering and Dean of Graduate Affairs, to share opening remarks.
Thank you, David. I'm privileged to have this opportunity to say a few brief remarks at this evening's event. And firstly, congratulations to the class of 2021. And to your families. This is an important milestone in your lives and one that you will cherish forever. Our speakers this evening will offer more detailed congratulations, advice, and memories of your time at TKS. I look forward to hearing their remarks. These, as you know, are extraordinary times, and your accomplishments in graduating and moving on with the next part of your journey are all the more special because of that. Exceptional and extraordinary times are even more so when you get to spend them with exceptional and extraordinary people. Your family, classmates and friends, the TKS faculty and staff. How fortunate we have all been to weather this global pandemic in a haven such as KAUST and in the Kingdom, where the response to COVID has been amazing. The school leadership and the entire faculty and staff, with the support of many organizations at KAUST, have been tireless in their efforts to ensure all TKS students an educational experience that was as close to normal as possible. When teachers were asked to take on additional roles and responsibilities, when students were asked to adapt to changing circumstances, when parents were asked to channel their inner teachers, you all rose to the occasion. Graduates, do think on these things when you reflect on your time at TKS. As chair of the TKS Board of Education, I get to see your school leadership in action. And on behalf of the board, I want to acknowledge the tremendous work that Michelle, the principals, and other members of the leadership team do in steering the school on an upward trajectory, whether in normal or pandemic times. Over the last couple of years, we on the board have had the chance to interact with Dwayne Harris in his role as Student Support Director. Dwayne has been a staunch advocate for increased support and services for students. And he and his team have made significant advances in this area and have set us on a very positive course. We wish Dwayne and his family every success in their next adventures. Likewise, all the very best to all faculty and staff who are moving on at this time, and to all at TKS. Thank you for making TKS what it is. What it is represented by our graduates here this evening. You must all be very proud. Congratulations again, class of 2021.
Thank you, Professor Moran. I'd now like to ask Dr. Michelle Remington, the director of the KAUST School, to speak to the class of 2021.
Welcome, parents, family members, faculty members, distinguished guests, and most importantly, class of 2021. Graduation is a very special event in the life of a student. It's a major achievement in your life. Some of you have been attending formal education for 13, 14, maybe even 15 years. If you have been a student at TKS since the opening of the school, I'd like you to stand and be recognized this evening. As TKS continues to grow, we will continue to see more and more students like these who have started their education at TKS and progressed all the way through to graduation. Reaching this milestone is a huge accomplishment at any time, but doing it at a time when the world is consumed by a pandemic is even more remarkable. No one ever debates that attending school is about academic growth and achievement, because of course that is a core element of what formal education provides. However, what we've seen these last 2 school years is that there is much more to what students need and what schools can provide than simply academic instruction. In 2016, a new book was published that took the education world by storm. It was called Grit: The Power of Passion and Perseverance by Angela Duckworth, a psychology professor at the University of Pennsylvania. The premise of the book is that success takes much more than talent and intelligence. She highlights 5 specific characteristics needed to develop grit, and ultimately the secret to outstanding achievement. Those characteristics are courage, consciousness, long-term goals and endurance, resilience, and excellence. When this book was first published, educators really grappled with, what does this mean? And the most common question was, how do we develop these characteristics in our students? Specifically, how does a person develop resilience? As a school, what can we do to help students develop resilience? What we learned through engaging in Duckworth's research is that grit and resilience are developed when people embrace challenges, when they persist in the face of setbacks, when they see effort as the path to mastery, when they learn from criticism, and they find lessons and inspiration in the success of others. In 2020, something else took the world by storm, and it wasn't a new book being published. It was the global pandemic. Never before had educators spoken so much about how both they and their students were having to develop and demonstrate resilience. For the last 18 months, COVID-19 has interrupted plans, disrupted celebrations, halted travel, and created challenges that none of us could have imagined. Teachers have had to learn new ways to teach, and students have had to embrace new ways to learn. Resilience is about embracing challenges. Graduates, you have done that. You struggled through distance learning, you managed half days at home and half days at school, you faced the challenges of the exams at the end of this school year. Resilience is also about persisting in the face of adversity. As you continued to do this throughout the year, we saw it as you missed out on sports seasons that you were hoping to have, MUN trips, or a live musical production. We are so sorry that you didn't have the opportunity to engage in those activities this year. And it's okay to be sad and even angry about that. It is important to recognize these disappointments and take time to grieve these losses. As a class, I also know that you persisted and looked for the positives. You worked hard to organize your camping trip. You came together to celebrate your gala, thanks to the parents that helped put that together as well. And you found ways to make positive memories this year. Which brings me to the last point. Resilience is about optimism. Anyone can look around the world right now and see a lot of suffering and bleak times ahead. But a resilient person will look to the future with optimism. What this period has made us all realize is what is truly important to us. So when looking at the positives, we can see what we should no longer take for granted. We understand that traveling, playing, even learning together is a privilege. We recognize how special it is to be here in this space together tonight, celebrating this milestone, because many others around the world are unable to come together for a celebration such as this. When we evaluate last year with an optimistic frame of mind, we see the privileges that have been afforded to us, this community, our jobs, our health, our families, and friends, an opportunity to learn and come together physically rather than virtually. Practicing gratitude is one way to remain optimistic and ultimately to become even more resilient. After graduation this evening, I challenge you to find someone who deserves your gratitude and thank them for their support. As you leave TKS next year, you will continue to face challenges and adversity, but you have developed the tools necessary and built the support structures that will allow you to embrace those challenges and persist when experiencing a setback. As difficult as these last 18 months have been for you, they may very well be some of the most important months of your life with regards to developing the characteristics most essential to long-term success and achievement, according to Duckworth's research. Continue to be courageous in all that you do. Know that effort is the path to mastery, not simply talent or IQ. Learn from your mistakes and find inspiration through celebrating the success of others, as well as yourself. You are an amazing class, and I am confident that there is no challenge you are not ready to tackle. I have great confidence in you, class of 2021, and I wish you all the best as you take the next steps of your journey. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Remington, for your reflections on the importance of grit, persistence, perseverance, and resilience. The TKS staff and student choir have recorded the song For Just a Little While, just for this ceremony. That was beautiful again. So thank you to all the students and staff who were part of the choir. It is now my pleasure to welcome one of the grade 12 students, Chelsea Lai, to give the first of the 2 grade 12 student addresses.
Good evening, parents, family members, teachers, and the KAUST community. It is an honor to speak to you tonight as a member of the KAUST School's graduating class of 2021. On the night before the lockdown, I had decided to sleep earlier than usual as I had a physics test the following day. Little did I know that day would be my last normal school day and that my remaining DP days would completely change. There will be no more anxious gatherings to find out our math and physics grades. No more of Miss Abdubaki's infamous dog questions, nor will there be any more JSTOR talks with Miss Delave during EE sessions. However, I would like to revisit an idea presented by President Chang during his KAUST Virtual Young Talent Academy speech. The Chinese phrase for crisis is wei ji. Wei signifies for danger, while ji is a component word for opportunity. Although the etymology does not agree with this oxymoron, the principle still holds that with crisis comes great opportunity. Hidden beyond our PJ attire to online classes, beyond countless autonomous months holding up in our houses, and beyond our worsened eyesight from looking at our computers all day, are the opportunities we've overlooked. To just name a few, we saw more of Abdulaziz's amazing TikTok videos. We became amateur hairstylists to get the pandemic bangs, although for guys it was shaving it all off. And we also got to listen to more of Mr. Marty's catchphrases, such as, "That is a boo-boo." Jokes aside, the crisis gave us more time to reflect on our strengths and weaknesses necessary for university. The crisis permitted many of us to recognize the moments, the experiences, and relationships we have taken for granted. And of course, it gave us more opportunity to spend time with our family and friends that would have otherwise been scarce with our increased IB workload. Along with KAUST, class of 2021 is the first graduating class of students to have been here for the whole of 12 years. We're the first grade to have known each other and literally watched each other grow up until now to graduation. This mature flower is symbolic of our collective experiences, each petal representing our first together. First day of school, dancing to Gangnam Style and popularizing the dab, grade 5 exhibition, PYP middle school orientation with Waldo, personal project, e-assessments, senior prank, gala, and of course, our first and very last high school graduation together. Again and again, I've seen my peers trying to regrow its petals, wishing we could have prep rallies for tournaments again, yearning for the return of a beloved teacher, hoping we didn't have to sit the IB exams. But you see, the petals on this flower will never grow back again, just like us. And this is symbolic for one of the most significant lessons we have learned in the past 12 years. And similar to what Ms. Remington has said, it is the importance of gratitude for time and the opportunities. You see, in location with 4 seasons, flowers long for the cooling rains during the summer and the warm sun rays during the winter. Fortunately, we live in Saudi Arabia, where it's balmy all year. The temperature is always perfect for ice cream, especially after a physics test, and where flowers blossom despite the arid climate. We are very fortunate to reside in a place where familiarity is ubiquitous, and we recognize our privilege, and we could never be more grateful for this heritage. Therefore, I would like to take this unique opportunity and time to thank everyone here making this ceremony possible to celebrate our successes despite these unprecedented times. To the cleaning staffs, thank you for cleaning up after our messes, especially after senior prank nights. To teachers, non-teaching faculty, and office administrators, thank you for treating us like your own and teaching us lessons that would endure with us beyond our school years. To our senior leadership team, thank you for making this ceremony possible to celebrate our successes despite these unprecedented times. And most importantly, to our parents and family members here tonight and around the world, thank you for preparing our monthly gifts, our mock exam snacks, our gala, and for cheering us on during these 12 years of learning journey. Thank you for unconditionally loving us, supporting us, and sacrificing for us. Many of us has wished for this flower to blossom again. However, we have helped each other recognize the fresh buds that are around us and within us that await to bloom. No doubt, we will all soon be flourishing, adapting, and thriving as new species of flowers elsewhere in the world, with more resilient roots, brilliant petals, and stronger stems because of our here time at KAUST. I would like to end with an Arabic farewell. Masalama, class of 2021. May peace be with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Chelsea, for expressing your gratitude and pointing out the relation between crisis and opportunity. We would now like to give an impression of some important events in the life of our grade 12 students. That was a little bit unfair of us to play it behind the graduates so we could all see the photos and they found it difficult to see it, but we'll all get a copy to them. And now, please welcome our second grade 12 speaker, Ali Kubaish.
On the behalf of Class 2021, I would like to welcome faculty, friends, family, and distinguished guests to this graduation ceremony. Before I start, I would like to thank all parents, and I would like to encourage everybody listening to be thankful to your parents, as they have been your biggest supporters and there for you every step of the way. Class of 2021, we made it as a group. We really started from the bottom, but now the whole team's here. The class of 2021 has undoubtedly been one of the most successful and outstanding classes of TKS history. We have been presented with many obstacles and challenges, especially this year due to the global pandemic. Things might not always have gone as planned, but I know that we can all agree that this class has shown resilience every step of the way. We have collectively pushed through all of the struggles that we have faced individually or as a group, and found the will and power to continue to showcase our resilience during these tough times. And despite all the odds, we still managed to graduate, so let's give ourselves a huge round of applause. We have been blessed with so many moments that have brought us together, from our Wands Online school mishap to the iconic Go Back to Your Intent now. Shout out to Mr. Vish. I will never forget the look on Mahmoud Yunus's face. It was priceless. Graduates, you are all destined for greatness. Each and every one of you has grown into powerful intellectual individuals who will no doubt leave a massive footprint on this earth. As we part ways, we will embark on our new adventures filled with challenges and success, knowing that we'll always have each other and our Kaus family. As street poet and philosopher Drake says, tables turns, bridges burns, you live and learn. Not everything ends up being how you imagined it to be. You learn to adapt and overcome these struggles and learn how to deal with difficult situations. To end things off, I would like to leave all of you with a quote from Oprah. You must have vision for your life, even if you don't know the plan. You have to have a direction in which you choose to go. Be phenomenal, or be forgotten. Congratulations, class of 2021.
Thank you, Ali. So your comments on the need to adapt, overcome struggles, and learn how to deal with difficult situations are very relevant. We will now listen to the song Lean on Me from the TKS staff and student choir.
Sometimes in our lives, we all have pain, we all have sorrow. But if we are wise, we know
That was great. Very jazzy. And great to see, apart from all the singers, also so many talented musicians. So I hope we will get more of that. So this year, the students invited Mr. Dwayne Harris to deliver the faculty address. Mr. Harris, over to you.
Mr. Tichler, thank you. I'm going to assume that you didn't expect me to be jazzy as well, so I'm just going to take that as it came, but thank you anyway. I'll try my best, though. This thing is fixed here. Good evening, graduates, class of 21. Good evening. No, I can't hear you. Good evening. Good evening. Thank you. You may smile also behind this mass. It's so good to be here with you this evening. Parents, teachers, Dr. Remington, Mr. Tichler, Professor Moran, Mr. Seeley, members of the KAS community, good evening, Assalamu alaikum. Before I launch into a few brief remarks for this graduating class, I would like to detour right back to June 2010 in this auditorium when 2 grade 12 students walked across this very stage and were capped as the first TKS graduates. Tonight we celebrate the graduation of 44 graduates, 44 students, 9 of whom have in fact attended the school from grade 1. What an achievement. Those 2 graduates left our school to launch successful careers in science, one currently employed as a chemical engineer in the oil industry, and the other currently reading for his PhD in quantum engineering with a graduation date of June 2021. My point is twofold. One, we have always celebrated our graduates with a formal graduation ceremony, no matter the size of the class. Graduation is an integral part of the rite of passage at the KAS school. And 2, we have committed to inspire students like you to pursue their passions, their dreams, despite the relative isolation that one experiences learning about life at the school, nested within the arms of university. We recognize that. In short, we have strived to ignite curiosity, inspire creativity, and investigate solutions, to quote our mission statement. This class is no different in that regard. So how does all of this relate to my remarks for tonight? And David, I'm aware that I was told I only have 5 minutes, but I'm going to indulge myself with this. Well, with your permission, I'm going to wander and weave some critical insights from a few giants of humankind, and hopefully through the gift of their words, leave you perhaps one message to ponder, to debate, and ultimately embrace as you may see fit. My brief remarks will include language stops in Latin, Japanese, and then of course English. And then we'll reconvene right here for some closure. So who would have thought that the Latin phrase, dam spiro spero, would have a greater bearing on any year than this year, this pandemic year, when schooling and the lives of billions of people have been disrupted and ended for some by a virus that attacks the most basic human function, the act of breathing. And yet, about 2,000 years ago, the Roman philosopher Cicero uttered the words, dam spiro spero, to signal his tremendous faith in the infallibility of life. And thus, I share that message with you tonight as you sit here, nervous, confused, probably scared, not knowing exactly what your future holds. Dam spiro spero. While I breathe, I hope. That is the message from Cicero to you and to all of us as we navigate the uncertainty of a future we never imagined. While we breathe, we hope. For that belief in the power of hope is why we are all gathered here this evening. As we ponder the power of hope, though, the Japanese phrase ikigai, probably my core message to you this evening, comes to mind. Ikigai. What is my life's purpose? What is my reason for getting up in the morning? What is my ikigai? What is my reason for living? What is your reason for living, and can it be to the benefit of others? Restated, I'm challenging you to find your ikigai, to find your joy. And if this IB education has had any impact on your thinking, then you will know that your ikigai, your joy, your purpose, will come from providing benefit to someone else. So the message would be, find your passion, develop your talents, help others, and make a living. Find your ikigai, find your joy. Pursuing hope and passions are active endeavors, and they will require of us to embrace change. So it is only apt to find words in the wisdom of well-known Saudi TV personality, Ahmad Shukheri, when he says, the moment may change your day, today may change your life, but your life could change the world. These words are captured so succinctly in another enduring tenet of the IB, action. Change is action. Service is action. You have an opportunity to change the world through your life. You have an opportunity to serve the world. Of course, this next journey of yours will include falling down, making mistakes, making errors. Who here amongst us can claim immunity from that? And it is the need for resilience, and you've heard that word so often this evening, for adapting to a new environment, for adapting to a radically altered world that Nelson Mandela helps us to frame when he said, do not judge me by my success. Judge me by how many times I fell down and got up again. Or Michael Jordan, when he says, I failed over and over again in my life. That is why I succeed. And fail you will. Making mistakes is the most natural part of learning, of growing, of succeeding. Ask any successful sportsperson, scientist, artist, writer, how often they failed before they achieved success. And they will resonate with the depth of the Mandela comment. Judge me by the number of times I fell down and got back up again. For getting back up is what counts. I'm almost done. Resilience, adapting to change, adapting to a radically altered world, those are key. And the natural segue into that adaptation is via the words of renowned Palestinian writer Naomi Shihab Nye, when she talks of compassion in her poem titled Kindness, which I would love to share an extract of with you right now. Naomi Shihab Nye writes, before you know kindness as the deepest thing inside, you must know sorrow as the other deepest thing. You must wake up with sorrow. You must speak to it till your voice catches the thread of all sorrows and you see the size of the cloth. Then, it is only kindness that makes sense anymore. Only kindness that ties your shoes and sends you out into the day to gaze at bread. Only kindness that raises its head from the crowd of the world to say, it is I you have been looking for, and then goes with you everywhere like a shadow or a friend. Naomi Shihab Nye. As you leave our school after tonight for newer pastures, having successfully navigated your graduating year, a global pandemic year, I wish you happiness, I wish you peace, I wish you hope, I wish for you to find your joy. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Harris, for your journey through the Latin, Japanese, and English language, and for your advice to find joy. It is now time for the awarding of the diplomas. The audience is free to take their own photos from their seats, but official graduation photos have been taken already before the ceremony, and they will be sent to the students within the next few days. I would now like to ask the director to come and hand over the diplomas to the students.
Mohammed Al Yahya.
Mary McCulloch.
Badr Kawaji.
Rand Sahan.
Jenna Slayman.
Vidyashri Mandi.
John Muji.
Gibran Shwaib.
Dalal El Jishi.
Manel Idaudi.
Rasha Badran.
Natasha Dewe.
Chelsea Lai.
Ali Al-Kubaish.
Sumaya Banu.
Mariam Ijaz.
Amy Tully.
Talib Muhuddin.
Raha Mohammed.
Ghazala Gul.
Rawa Abu Zaid.
Cyril Guevara.
Blake Remington.
Sadim Al-Bader.
Abdullah Yildirim.
Feroz Shafiq.
Ruba Gari.
Bader Bashamah.
Abby Ross.
Muhammad Huzaifa Imran.
Benjamin Powell.
Mahmoud Yunus.
Marwan Mohammed.
Abdallah Al-Gamdi.
Hisham Melibari.
Mahmoud Farsi.
Mohammed Koja Baka.
Abdulaziz Al-Musaitir.
Alistair Huang.
Bjorn Host.
Amar Hassan.
Ahmed Al-Sahati.
Luca Fotea.
I now want to ask our director to share her final words with the students. Coast School graduates, please stand.
By the authority vested in me by KAUST senior managers responsible for the school, it is my privilege to present to you the graduates of the KAUST School of the class of 2021. You may move your tassels.
We thank We thank all graduates and speakers for their contribution to this event. And we would like to thank family and teachers inside the auditorium and all viewers from homes around the world for logging in and witnessing the graduation of the students. We are asking all students, teachers and families when leaving the auditorium to proceed outside straight away, as we cannot congregate within the building. The ceremony is now concluded.